Hello everyone. Today we're going to be working on creating some fall landscapes. To begin, you're going to pick one blue piece of construction paper and one green. We need one for the sky and one for the grass. And you'll have a few different colors that you can choose from. So maybe your sky is going to be a light blue. Maybe it's going to be more like nighttime and you'll choose the dark blue. And so you choose. I think I'll do kind of this blue-green color for my sky and the really light green for my grass, just to mix it up a little bit. Now, for the sky, you are not going to do any cutting, okay? You'll want to write your name on the backside of the sky right away, making sure you also put your code. For the grass, you're going to want to cut across the long way to create a line for your grass. And so you might want to draw it first. We don't want to do it the short way because you're not going to get enough grass for your landscape. So we'll want to do it the long way. You could draw, this is our horizon line. Your horizon line could just be straight across. Or if you wanted to, you could give it a curve so it has a hill. And then we're going to take our pencil, set that down and grab your scissors. And I'm going to cut out my hill. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Now, if you have a side where any pencil shows, that can be the side that you can put glue on. And we're going to glue that right down there. So we have a sky and we have a ground. For glue, you have two different options. You could use glue stick or you could use our bottle of glue. If you're using bottle, just make sure that you can feel or hear the air coming out. And you can do some dots or some lines around the corners. You might have to give it a shake or two to get that glue moving. Okay, so I'm just going to draw a very light line of glue right around the edge. If you use a glue stick, you would do pretty much the same thing where you're going around the edge. I'm going to flip it over and line it up. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut out some trees. We're going to cut the leafy part of the trees out. And so since it's a fall landscape, we're going to be working with our warm colors, the red, oranges, and yellows. And you can start with any color you want. And we're going to draw and cut out some trees. So for this, I want you to think about circles, ovals. It could even kind of be like a organic bumpy shape if you want to. Remember, if you're having some cutting troubles, it's simpler and easier to cut out an oval. If you really love to cut things out and you like to cut out a tricky design, maybe you'll want to cut out something like this. So cut out a bunch of different shapes using the different colors. I have some different treetops cut out now, and I want to decide where they're going to go. You'll notice that some of my treetops are bigger and some of them are smaller. And so I'm going to kind of spread them all out right now. And let's try to lay them down on our paper. How about the smaller ones? Right now I'm just kind of laying them on first. And when you put a shape on top of another shape, that's called overlapping. So because we have a lot of trees, and they're going to be on there kind of tight, you're going to want to overlap a little bit to fit all of them on. And you might find some that just aren't going to fit, and that's okay. But once you put all your trees on, and some of them are going to be on top of others, some are going to be tucked underneath, then you could glue them on when you're happy and you're done organizing them. So take a moment to organize your shapes first, and then using your glue stick or glue bottle, stick those on. After all of the treetops have been glued down and you wiped off any excess glue, our next step is going to be to draw on the tree trunks and the tree branches. So if we start with this first tree right here, the trunk is going to come out, and I'm using a Sharpie to draw this on, out onto the grass. You can make it a little bit wider at the end. I'm going to color it in solid. And then we're going to kind of imagine where the branches go. So if there's one long part that goes up towards the middle, and then it's going to branch off. And you might need to get a different Sharpie if yours is dying. So if there is one main trunk, and then it branches off into other branches, and then those branches can split off into other branches, and so on and so forth. And so you could continue, you know, each one branch could branch off into 2 or 3 more. You could create quite a bit of branches. And so each tree, you're going to draw the branches, and you can kind of decide what type of branches you would like to see. You know, maybe for this one, we'll do this red tree over here. Maybe the branches are going to follow a pattern. Oops. Uh-oh, that one's scooting around on me. Hopefully yours will be a little drier than Mrs. Belzer's. And so you're going to continue. Hopefully you find a Sharpie that works better. Maybe you're going to put dots on the end of each of your branches. Maybe they're just going to split off into a bunch of little Ys. And so take your time adding details to each tree. I wanted to show you on a tree that's behind other trees, like there's this yellow one's overlapping, this red one's overlapping. Notice that this branch, when it touches the yellow tree, it stops and it disappears. So think about when we do our horizon lines, like when we draw the line across and it gets to the house, we pick up our marker and go to the other side. It's the same thing. So these trees that are behind the other trees, like this trunk, it would probably be right through here. Are we going to draw it? Not really, because these trees are just blocking that tree trunk. So you can only draw what you would be able to see in real life. And so I can see this trunk, this trunk. This one I'm maybe only going to be able to see part of. I might lose part of it through that other trunk there, or that other yellow tree. Okay, and so just think about if you get to another tree and it's in your way, you'd stop your marker. When you've finished adding branches to all of the trees, you can use crayons to go in and add details like grass texture at the bottom. You could add some details in your sky like clouds or sun or other weather details, or maybe there's even hills or little houses in the background. So have fun making yours unique and special to you by adding your own details.